Hello everybody, my name's Caleb, and in today's video we're going to talk about running a TypeScript monorepo and why running TypeScript through the Node modules directory may or may not work depending on the JavaScript runtime that you're using. Here I've got a sample monorepo in which I've got a few different packages. So I've got a client and server package. That's for a weather server serving the weather and then a client to fetch it over HTTP. But the main package that we're going to look at today is in utils, and it's called the client demo. The client demo is a little special in this monorepo because it actually imports another package out of the workspace. It imports the client. We can see here in the package.json of the utils package, it's importing tsweather/client from the workspace. When we run npm install, this actually creates a symlink. So under normal operation in our monorepo, every time we import this package, it's actually just going to go over to this source client directory, which is what we would expect, so we can make changes in that source client directory and they'd be immediately reflected within this package. So to run this test, we're going to start a server here. And then we're going to run a client demo from the monorepo. We'll run it under Node, Deno, and Bun. You can see I've got Node, Deno, and Bun commands all here. I'm going to run them all directly in a row. And as you can see, those ran pretty quickly, but all three passed. So we have three outputs of that working. Now, this is great, but when we have a monorepo and we want to deploy that monorepo, we actually may want to package up certain packages in here and put all of their dependencies in a Node modules folder underneath them. So let's do that with the utils package. There's a command called pnpm deploy, and I'm using the -- legacy flag here due to the way that we symlink packages. But this will take our tsweather utils package, and instead of creating symlinks, it's actually going to just copy all of the other packages that are dependencies into the Node modules folder. Let's take a look at what that did on disk. So here we've got our client demo. It's in TypeScript. We've got the Node modules directory here. And we've got tsweather. You can see it's copied pretty much exactly what's on our file system into client.ts, index.ts. Now let's go run from this standalone package. And I think you can already see what the result will be, but we can run these one at a time and kind of talk about what's going on. So running this under Node throws unsupported Node modules type stripping. They made the decision not to enable type stripping inside of the Node modules directory. And Deno has pretty much followed the same path as Node. So they throw the exact same error, and you can see that they have electively decided not to strip types out of the Node modules directory. Whereas Bun is going to work just fine. So what are the decisions that led to this? Well, I think first of all, Node recently introduced type stripping. It's pretty new as of Node 22. Node 24 is of course out now, but it's a relatively new feature and they may still be feeling it out. Of course, most consumers of Node packages may not be on that version, and it's probably a good idea to transpile TypeScript to JavaScript if you're going to publish that into an npm package and maybe push it to npm.js. But I feel like that neglects the monorepo use case. In the monorepo use case, it can be nice to split your packages and kind of package them up with that pnpm deploy command, maybe put them into a Docker image that you plan running somewhere, and these packages would never be hitting npm. So this is fairly restrictive for the monorepo use case. We've got all the nice tooling that allows us to run TypeScript, but at the last minute, once we package everything up, we're no longer allowed to execute it in a way that worked in our local mono repo. So Node currently has this marked as not planned. And it seems like Deno has a duplicate issue. Again, closed is not planned. Reading through a lot of the comments in here, there seems to be some indication that you can use certain types of TypeScript loaders if you really want to get Node working with TypeScript. So maybe a type stripping loader could be used. There's some items about that. I don't see anything about using loaders in Deno that would make this possible. And then there's certainly people asking for this to be re-enabled. I think that it's likely that Deno would follow Node's lead on this, but maybe since Bun is kind of being a front runner in this, that the other two will make a consideration to change their mind, reopen these issues, and support type stripping so that we would be able to run our mono repo packages and maybe even potentially publish NPM packages that had TypeScript only code if consumers of those packages were TypeScript only consumers. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a deal breaker for you in your mono repo? And if you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.